Today I want to talk to you a little bit about tabs, especially for financials like an annual report, and a good way to set up a system for the rules and the total lines. And here's an example page that I have from a previous annual report, and we want to set this page from scratch and how to build that. I have a system set up over here already, and what I want to do first is, if I don't already have a text box, I want to draw my text box to the margins and leave it there. But on this particular occasion, we need financials to overhang and on our margins. So we want to pull this to the trim edge. And then we want to pull in our content. Okay. So once we have our content, you can see it's all messed up from like text documents or Word. So now I want to style that content, and I'm going to use regular, and I'm going to make it 8/12. And I have some colors set up in here, a gray and a red that I'll use as well. And we just want to get this all styled up before we make our paragraph style. So now that I have that, all I have to do is select the text box and hit Command Shift T for tabs. And so with tabs, a lot of times with financials, you'll have 4 or 5 indents on the left. And of course, we have 3 years that we're looking at financially, and we want those all the way on the right. So with our tabs, the amount of indent that you use is the size of the type, which in my case would be 8 point. But I'm just going to make it 9 point just to keep it even. But that would be the correct distance, would be 8 points. So I want 4 or 5 of those, in this case, spread out from one another. So I'm just going to set these up that way. 1p6 and 2p3 and then 3. And you can see they're already starting to line up. Okay. Now on this, for the financial side, the numeral side, I want to start with a tab right on our margin, which would be here. Okay. But I don't want this align right tab. I want this aligned to decimal. And if you look over here, it'll align on. You can align it to just about anything. And in this case, since there's parens, which are negative numbers in the finance industry, you wouldn't use a minus 23.5. You'd use a parens around it. And those parens need to overhang. So I want to align on the paren. Now, I have a column here for 2007, and I need one for 8 and 9. So I want to move in same increments to the left to align these columns. So I'm just going to take away 6 picas here, an inch. So they're an inch apart. So we have one there, and then I'm just going to go with this and I need to make it 37. So I'll put it 37p6. And 6 minus that's 31p6. So now that's where all my years and numerals are going to go. Now I need my dollar signs. So I just want to put something here, like 39. But now I want to go back to my flush left. Okay. So 39 minus 6 is 33. That's another one. 33 minus 6 is 27. So that's going to be here. And now they're starting to line up. Right? But we have some issues here, and the way you want to look at those is turn your invisibles on, Command Option I, and you can see what's going on here. And sometimes they just get extra tabs in there. So I can just pull these back, right? A lot of these will just pull right back over. Okay. Oh, I got some problems here. So when I see these little things coming up, I know that those are special characters from another Word doc or whatever. This one actually needs a return. And I can just do a command. I can copy those. Those are actually supposed to be M dashes. So I can copy that, select all, hit my find button, paste it in here. And wherever it sees that, I want an M dash. So I want to change all. And there's 7. And we're done. So now we have those 7. So those characters are easy to get out of there. Actually, put it as a grep in your paragraph styles if you want to as well. Okay. So now that I got all that styled, I want to make a paragraph style. And I'm going to call it, financial charts text. Okay. So now it's got all the tabs and everything in there that I want. So now we need some other things like subheads and some rules. I'm going to do my subheads first, and those are usually just italics like this. So I'll set these as italic and then just make a character style for those. Call them actually subheads, because I need these to be italic. These are my actual subheads here. This one, this one, that one, and this one are my subheads. So I want those to stick out. The other thing I want is to maybe use a different style for these years, because we will usually have those stick out. So I'm going to use a sans serif, a heavier sans serif, like All Right Sans Bold, and I'll take it down a point and I'll spread it out quite a bit. And this is just, you don't have to style it this way. It's just one of the styling ways I used to use. Okay, so once I have that, I'll make a style for character style for that and just call it, years. And then the current year is usually sticks out a little bit, so I'll make it red, make another character style, and call it current year. Okay, now we've got that. So we've got it all built. Pretty quick. Now we want our rules, right? Some people may say, do you align this to the baseline grid? Yeah, you can, but don't do it in the box. Do it in the paragraph style. So luckily my lighting for my type is 12 point, and so is my baseline grid. So all I have to do is go back to my financial charts text under indents and spacing and align to grid, and everything will sit on it. And there we go. Okay. Now we need our rules. And we need subtotal rules based on this one. I have a dotted line for subtotals, and I have a solid line for totals. So I would just want to make up my subtotal lines first. So you don't have to grab the whole line like this. You could just put your cursor there and hit Command Option J, which will give me my rules. And I want a rule below that line. It's all going all the way to the edge, so we don't want the width to only go to the text. Okay. And then offset it somewhere in between the lines, right? Like P3. And use a subtotal dotted line. So now that I have that, I want to make that a paragraph style and call it subtotals. Okay. Now I can go to my other lines. I think other, and cash and cash equivalents. So wherever there's an other, I have a subtotal line. Let me turn my guides off so you can see what I'm doing. And there's another here. And cash and cash equivalents. So we need subtotals there. I also want to make the top of this chart or graph, if you will, separated from the content as well. So I'm going to make a subtotal line there. So now it's separated. It's a common technique that we would use. So now for the total lines, I just select my line and make it a subtotal line. But then I'm going to go back to Command Option J, which gives me my rules, and I'm going to make it a solid, maybe 0.75, so you can see. So I didn't recreate anything. I just used the one I already have. And now that I have that, I'm going to make a new paragraph style that's connected to it here based on. And that's totals. Okay. So now I need a total where? Net cash, net cash, net cash, and cash equivalents. So all the net caches will have a total on it. Total. and this one as well. And there we have it. So that's one page financial set, baseline grid with tabs. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching.